Hello. This is my first video in what I expect to be a 30-day series because I'm doing a 30-day talk to camera challenge. I think the first video I'm supposed to talk about what my goals are, and it's interesting. I mean, obviously the main goal is to get more comfortable talking to the camera. Stepping back, kind of looking at it from a larger perspective, my goal is to spend 6 weeks walking across Spain on the Camino Frances, and I would like to create a vlog for it. I'd like to journal myself through the experience, and so now is the time to get comfortable with doing that before I head over there. I'm going in about 6 weeks. So I'm trying to get more used to just extemporaneously talking about what's going on. I also have never done any sort of YouTubing or anything like that. So part of this is getting comfortable with putting myself online for the world to see, as well as learning how to do some basic editing and things of that nature. I'm sure there's a huge difference between just recording and recording something interesting and recording something interesting for yourself that you might want to watch again later or share with others. So this is the beginning of that journey. The reason I want to record or vlog my experience on the Camino is mostly to be able to remember it. My wife and I went to Portugal about 4.5 months ago to walk the Portuguese Camino. So that one starts in Porto, and it takes, well, technically it starts in Lisbon. But from what I hear, the first couple weeks is pretty rough between Lisbon and Porto. And we only had a few weeks, so we started in Porto with the intent to walk to Santiago, Spain. We had about 12 days scheduled for it, and everything was going great for me through the 8th day. My body was getting used to all the walking, and I'd settled into the pilgrim experience, and it was really great. But then on the 8th day, at the end of the day, I was absolutely shattered. I wasn't feeling good, wasn't hungry at all, very, very tired, way more tired than should have been based on the amount of miles that day. But I wasn't feeling good at all. And so I took a rest day in Redondela, I believe. No? Yeah, I think Redondela. And then that turned into a second rest day where I did nothing but literally lay in bed and shake from severe fever and have a lot of really nasty, unfortunate trips to the bathroom and not eat anything. Really bad fever. I was feeling awful. So the one rest day turned into 2 rest days. And then at the end of that second rest day, I was still feeling bad enough, and it was a little shocking. So we went to the emergency clinic. They sent me to the regional hospital in Vigo, and it took about, I think, 6 or 8 hours to be finally admitted at the hospital in Vigo. They put me into an abdominal CT scan and told me I had diverticulitis, and the inflammation was so bad that they thought they were going to have to do surgery. So they admitted me to the hospital. They hooked me up full and pumped me full of antibiotics and fluids. And I couldn't eat anything, and I was super weak. That turned into 5 days in the hospital in Spain. And luckily, the inflammation and infection went down enough that they felt safe in releasing me so I could travel back home. So that was quite the experience. And we ended up spending a couple days, 3 days, in Porto after I was released. And we did some very, very lightweight enjoying of the city. You know, we couldn't do much. I couldn't eat much. I couldn't exercise much. I was super weak. You know, I was supposed to stay off alcohol and red meat and heavy fatty food. So we really didn't get to enjoy Porto as much as we wanted to. It was a beautiful place. But then we headed home, and that was a handful of months ago. So when I look back on our trip, the time along the Camino, and then our time afterward in Porto, you know, the days all just kind of end up blending together. And I have some pretty good memories of the entire trip. But we went so many places, we met so many people, we ate so much great food. We stayed at so many awesome albergues that it's hard to remember day by day what happened and what the experience was really like in the moment. Right now, the whole thing is, to me, a little bit overshadowed. Ooh, look at that hill. The whole thing is overshadowed a little bit by the hospitalization and the fact that it ended my Camino. I only had roughly 4 more days to go, and I was feeling great, and I was putting the miles under my feet, and you know, sometimes it is what it is. Life may not give you what you want, but it gives you what you're gonna have. So I want to go back and accomplish what I set out to do. And I think that's walking a Camino with the pilgrim spirit. Ideally, I'd like to end in Santiago, or perhaps continue on to Finisterre on the coast. We'll see. And this time I'm going by myself, and I'm taking about 6 weeks to do it. So I think being able to document the journey, the whole journey from start to end, to be able to remember it better for myself. And, you know, we can share it with friends and family if they're interested. But also I'm going to be putting it on YouTube. So maybe that'll inspire others to want to walk the Camino, or do another long distance walk, or just undertake a personal challenge, a goal that they have set for themselves. And maybe this is interesting, maybe it's not, but this is for me. And if you're interested, you're welcome to come along too. My intent is to do these 30 days talking to camera challenge. I'm sure I'll get better as time goes on. That's the point. And then after the 30-day challenge is over, I should have a little bit of time left before I leave for my Camino. I will probably create some Camino planning videos, like what am I bringing? You know, what am I packing? How am I planning my schedule, my budget? You know, what's important to me on the walk? Maybe documenting my intentions or my assumptions. You know, I've got some Camino experience under my belt. Again, only a week on the Portuguese, so it's going to be different than the French Camino. And the French Camino is going to be much, much longer. So there's the sun. I'm also still trying to really get used to where I need to hold the camera when I'm talking to it. so that we don't get this kind of a situation going on. I think over time I'll get better at that. How far do I hold the camera out, etc. So, what else? Circling back around to the entire point of this recording is, what are my goals? So this is becoming comfortable talking to the camera, also becoming comfortable with walking around in public, holding a little tripod and filming myself. It seems so narcissistic that I'm just not used to it. It's going to take some time. And as you can see, I'm walking around residential neighborhoods. I went down to my local park first before I started recording. And there was a lot of people out. It's a beautiful day, as you can see. I'm here in Colorado, and we had a ton of snow a couple days ago. And right now it's, almost 60 degrees. So this stuff's going to melt fast. Having said that, everybody was out of the park because it's an absolutely gorgeous day. And I just felt too self-conscious to pull this out and start talking to it. So it's going to be being comfortable talking extemporaneously. Hello. Getting less self-conscious about just filming myself in public, especially if I'm talking. And I think just getting the reps in, right? You got to do the thing to become good at the thing. And I want to become good at vlogging, or good enough so that I can capture my experience well. So that's the goal of this. The overall goal is to be able to record my experience on the Camino, whatever that holds for me. And I suppose getting the experience in, any lightweight editing or anything like that, making sure that I get the best audio possible. Given the technical constraints. I got a DJI Mic Mini set up here, and I think it's been working pretty well. So we'll see. It's a little bit of weight with the carrying case, and so I think the extra weight is probably going to be worth it. I've watched a lot of trail videos of people either on the Camino or doing, a through hike or something like that. And a lot of times the audio is not super great. I mean, how great can it be when you're out in an uncontrolled environment? But using things like the microphones that are native to a phone, or, maybe like the microphones in a set of earbuds or something like that, it just sounds not great, especially if there's any sort of ambient noise or wind or anything like that. So, let's see, switch hands. My arm's getting sore. What a baby. So, I think that about covers it for today. At least I'm happy. It's probably been, 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. So, enough rambling on. Those are my goals. You're welcome to come along. I hope that I am able to accomplish this and finish this 30-day challenge. It should be easy. I just need to make the videos and post them. That's it. And then I hope that things go smoothly on my way to southern France, Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, to begin my Camino. And I hope to avoid disaster over the 5.5 or 6 weeks that I walk across Spain towards Santiago, and with any luck to Finisterre, the end of the world. Have a great day. See ya.